Hey everyone, welcome. Hope y'all are doing well today. We are back on Monday. I hope everybody's having a good Monday, but we know how that is. Hope weekends were fun and good and whatnot. Many problems. All right, so we're gonna try something a little bit different today. I'm always up for trying something. We are multi-streaming on three different platforms today: uh, Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. So, because of that, there's not going to be any alerts, be any labels, and obviously, because of Twitch's policies, we unfortunately cannot have a combined chat. So I have to keep everybody pretty much separate, which is unfortunate. Hopefully, at some point, uh, they will change that. Fingers crossed, right? But I think it's partially a competition thing. So I got three different chats on my screen, so bear with me if I don't necessarily respond right after you leave a message. Because I got the game to keep an eye on, I got the stream to keep an eye on, and three different chats to keep an eye on. Hopefully everything will work out well. If you've been following me, you know I'm still running an older computer, the GTX 1060, I believe. And it's been having a little bit of issues where I guess it's wanting to use the C drive for RAM or something. So I have three drives. I got the C drive, which is, the main drive of the computer. Operating system is on that, Windows 10. And then I got a D drive and then an external F drive. So because of the C drive is so small, it was only 120 gigs, I believe. I put everything on D and F. Most of my streaming stuff is all on F because my external hard drive is 4 terabytes, and then the D drive is 1 terabyte. So I'm pretty much putting everything on those two drives. However, the size of the or the free space of the C drive is constantly going up and down, and sometimes it goes way down, and then the computer don't want to work, which I find extremely annoying. I'm not a computer genius. I'm not a tech person. But just my attitude, my thought process is if I have nothing on C, then the storage space should not be going up or down in my book. Be the same. Um, but I don't know. I do need a new computer at some point, but I'm sure you're probably aware computers are extremely expensive. And then they become outdated right after you buy them. So at the moment, I don't have the funds to invest in a new computer. I am looking at one over on Skyforge, I believe. They want about 1,800 for it. So that's what I'm kind of looking at. It's their more bottom line computer, I guess you could say. Because I don't have the the funds to fork out $3,000 on a computer. That's just crazy how expensive technology has gotten. I do know that that also means it's capable of doing more. Um, I do draw a line on certain things, like cell phones, for example. I will not pay $1,000 for a cell phone. Um, I mean, y'all are welcome to do so if you want. If you got that kind of money to waste on a phone, feel free. I with the amount of issues people have with phones, I don't see $1,000 in a phone as a good investment. Um, and I know maybe some of y'all are not from my generation. I was born in '84, and so growing up, we didn't really have cell phones to begin with. But the biggest issue with today's phones is you better not drop it. You drop it once, and you might need a new phone. And $1,000 is a lot of money to just flush down the toilet because you dropped your phone. Whereas the phones we had back in the day, and I'll keep in mind, I'll keep you in mind that they didn't have all the capabilities they have today. I mean, you called, you text, and you could probably take pictures on some of them. But that was about it. Texting took you forever, but at the same time, you could slam it on the ground and it wouldn't break. Probably run it over with a car and it wouldn't break. So it was a lot more durable, and they were cheaper back then too. Um, but they try to tell you the reason why it's so expensive is because of shortage on parts. All this, it's all lies. It's just a way to get you to spend more money and to justify it. Because my thought process is, if there's a shortage on parts, why don't you just make more? In the beginning, you didn't have those parts because there was no cell phones. You had to create them to begin with. Why can't you just create more? And it's because they are creating more. They just not telling you that. $1,000 for a phone. That's more than my car. Well, I don't have a car payment now, but when I did, car payment was like $300, which is also hilarious. They try to make you believe that a $400-500 car payment is affordable. Not. It's overpriced. When I first started driving, you can get a car payment under $200 a month for a used car. Of course, the price of used cars have skyrocketed too, just like everything else, just like homes have skyrocketed. Um, my first car was actually a minivan, and it was $4,000. $4,000 for a used vehicle. It used to be very easy to find a decent used car for under $10,000. Okay. So usually a used car you can find a decent one for under 10. If you wanted a new car, you're looking at like 20,000 up. Okay. Now it's not that way. You want a used car, it's almost impossible to find a used car under $10,000. Most used cars now are over $20,000, and it's ridiculous. Um, I got two cars, both paid off. I have a 2015 Hyundai Accent. I bought that brand new. It was $16,000 brand new in 2015. I also have a 2013 Ford Edge. So it's an older car. Got less miles on it, but it's an older car. I bought it used a few years ago. 20,000. So you can kind of see the difference between the two just in that period of time. But yeah, so computers are expensive, and it'll probably be a little while before I can upgrade. So we'll just do the best we can with what we got. Plus, we're also playing with PlayStation 5 because that's the other issue with my computer. A lot of the newer games coming out, my computer's like, I'm not playing that. Matter of fact, this game here, Oblivion, I originally downloaded on PC, and it kept crashing. I just refunded it and put it on the PlayStation. And it works fine on the PlayStation. So I'm doing what's called remote play, and basically connecting to the PlayStation wirelessly and trying to stream that way. My computer itself has a wired connection, and the PlayStation has a wireless connection. Because the funny thing about that, um, new houses. This house is a new house. We bought it brand new in a housing community, and they were not going to put any internet jacks in this house. They were going to make it completely Wi-Fi. I requested that they put in a wired access, and so what they were going to do in the garage, they were going to hook up the modem and the router and all that in the garage and run everything from Wi-Fi. Which, the hilarious part is the garage, they didn't put any air ducts in there for air conditioning. So in the summertime, it gets really hot in there. And as you know, heat is not good for technology to begin with. I'm not sure how much heat a modem and a router can withstand, but anyways, they're going to put that in the garage and try to run everything on Wi-Fi. And I mean, that might be fine if all you're doing is watching TV. Your cell phones, you have cellular data, right? So if your Wi-Fi craps out on you, you still have the cellular data. They don't think too many people are going to be doing what I'm doing, which requires a more stable connection. And I'm in a two-story house, and right now I'm in my bedroom closet, walk-in closet that I'm also using as an office. So they ended up running a wire or whatever up the ceiling in the garage into my closet so I could have a wired connection. So we were lucky to get that done. Trying to have a wired connection anywhere else in the house probably would be a pain in the ass to try to get them to figure it out. So this is pretty much what we got at the moment. All right. So we are playing Oblivion. This is episode 24, I believe it said. And if you have not been following us, um, keep in mind I do have playlists over on YouTube. I know on Twitch there's some videos there. Feel free to watch it if you like. Of course, they're not all there. I don't believe they're all there. And then if you're over on Kick, I haven't really been live on Kick very much. So there's really nothing on Kick. So if you want to catch up on what we've been doing, YouTube's probably your best option. I have tons of playlists there of a lot of games I've played over the years. So it's a good way to catch up. Um, so when I grew up, you weren't even guaranteed plain old telephone line installed, much less technology that hadn't even been invented yet. Yeah, I mean that is true. I know when I was growing up, we did have a telephone line. It was a landline. There wasn't any kind of real cell phones. At first, there wasn't even cordless phones. That came a little bit later. And the pro of that though was if your power went out, you could still make a phone call, which was good. You know, if something going on and you need help, call 911. You could still call 911 on a corded uh, landline. Then eventually they had cordless phones, which was still considered a landline. It's just it was cordless, and those are fine. You could go all over the house while you're talking on the phone, right? But if the power went out, your phone gone. You're gonna have to pull out the cord, the corded phone. Of course, what a lot of people would do is they would have a corded phone in one room, then have cordless phones in some of their other rooms. That way, the power did go off, they still had a phone that they could use if they needed to. But now I think mostly everybody just uses cell phones because, why pay more bills if you don't need to? Instead of having a landline bill and having a cell phone bill, just have your cell phone bill. If somebody's trying to get a hold of you, they can get a hold of you from anywhere, right? As long as you have a signal and as long as you're paying your bill. Other words, if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're stranded and you need help, you might have to walk like we did back in the old days because you might not have a signal on that phone. Uh, so as long as the power at the cell tower doesn't go out, yeah. I mean, it happens, right? Or, the end of the world, the zombie apocalypse, right? Where all technology goes. Now, I'll be honest with you. While we're talking about technology real quick, I kind of like that theme where you had this advanced uh, civilization, an awesome, convenient technology, and then it all goes to crap, and like the end of the world or whatever kind of thing. And not that it's good that people die, but a large number of people, have died. Very few survived. Um, nature has kind of taken over civilization. You have these advanced buildings that are overrun with plants and vines and trees, and the world becomes a more vibrant place because nature took over. And you have, like I'm thinking kind of like a role playing kind of game thing, but also, you could have it like a TV series or even a movie. And so the civilization had to start over. And so you have a mixture of primitive technology with more advanced technology. And I kind of like that theme a little bit. People go exploring in these old buildings that, have elevators and computers and shit. And maybe they have to fight a monster or a mutant or something. And one person's using a sword, and maybe another person has a gun or, something like that. I find that kind of intriguing, mixing past and future together. I think it's kind of cool. You see them in several games. Breath of Fire did it. I think Breath of Fire 3 particularly. Um, you had an advanced civilization that you ended up going to. Meanwhile, you're still fighting with the sword and magic. So I just kind of like that mixture. I think it's kind of neat. Um, and it also kind of shows, it makes a point that we tend to take our planet for granted. If you look at big cities and civilizations full of buildings and technology and cars and all kinds of machinery and stuff like that, it's all convenient. It's all really neat, but it's usually uh, dealing with smog and fog and smoke and um, the planet looks dead. Okay. But then when you look at the past before all that technology, or if you look at the fantasy world where technology goes under and the Earth retakes the world, everything is vibrantly green and healthy looking, and there's less pollution, and you can breathe better, and you can drink the rainwater again, and you can maybe get water out of the river or lake as long as nobody's peeing in the water. Um, and you don't have to worry about getting sick per se from that pollution. You don't have poisonous chemicals that people are putting in your food and drinks anymore. Everything is pretty much fresh. You know, um, that's the thing about civilization, right? Pros and cons. You get convenience, but then you get poison. But anyways, uh we're gonna play some Oblivion, where there is really not that much technology except maybe some of the Dwemer and Ayleid technology. It's mostly magic kind of thing. And see how beautiful this world is, right? So I'll come over here, and as you can see, I pulled out my green screen again. I guess it's a little bit easier to see the screen if there's nothing behind me. Although it's not the most perfect setup, it's sometimes hard to get the light just right. You always get like little bouncy things or outlines, like you can see outlines on my hands. I can never perfectly get the settings right. I almost wish that like OBS would have some kind of plugin or something you can download where it would do it for you. We're going back to that technology convenience, right? That it would take care of all the settings for you based on what your camera sees, based on the light and whatnot. That would be neat. You just provide the green screen and whatnot. I know there is some software you can get that will remove your background even if you don't have a green screen. I tried some of those, although it's not all that great. You're still going to get some of the, static kind of thing going on. I still feel the green screen is probably a little bit better than those softwares. Although if you don't have the option of a green screen, surely it's a good alternative. The other thing is they usually have little templates or whatever you can do. If you wanted to have a background, you could change your background so people aren't seeing the room that you're in. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Green screen software is probably even more better. Yeah. The thing about magic, and of course part of that depends on the story, is magic doesn't create pollution. But in some stories, if you use magic, it does affect your health. It does drain your life. It might make you more tired. And if you use magic that's stronger than you can handle, you could potentially die. So that's always a possibility. One game that we have streamed, so if you missed it, make sure you check it out over on YouTube, is Final Fantasy IV. Originally released in the U.S. as Final Fantasy II because Americans got things out of order. There was a character who was a sage. I pronounce his name as Tella. I don't know if that's the exact way you pronounce his name. But he could use white magic and black magic. And he wanted to get revenge for his daughter's death and wanted to use a sacred, most powerful spell in the entire game, Meteor. And so he used it up against Golbez. Unfortunately, it did not kill Golbez, but it did kill him because he was too old and he didn't have the same life force to handle this. Had something against the Spoony Bards. That's right. Spoony Bard was going to marry his daughter, and he didn't consent, but he also didn't know that the Spoony Bard was actually a prince. And then Golbez attacked his kingdom, and his daughter shielded the Bard from arrows, thus leading to her death. But yes, so it's an interesting thing. And I will say the magic in this game, some of the animations they do when they do the spell is pretty neat. They didn't really do that with Skyrim. It's pretty much just a colored ball of magic in your hand kind of thing. This, if you use like the feather spell, for example, it increases your carrying capacity. You'll see feathers kind of fly up in the air. If you use the breathe underwater spell, you see bubbles kind of flying around. That's neat. I think they should add something like that to Skyrim, and maybe they have some mods that allow you to do that. I have seen mods that will create like little sigil circles when you're casting a spell in Skyrim. But yeah. So we are a Breton. We have the Tower Burst sign, although I kind of wish I could change it. Maybe we will find a stone somewhere that will allow us to do it. We are a custom class adventurer because there were certain stats that I wanted. And level 17. Of course, there's our health and whatnot down there. We did recently pick up Umbra. The house Soul Trap. Pretty awesome. I'll hit the right buttons here eventually. So there it is. Umbra, one-handed sword. And then, of course, we also have the armor, Umbra, which is heavy armor. And it's basically ebony. Yep, says it right there. Which increases our defense up pretty good. It's at 40 right now. And then, of course, we got some rings with different abilities attached to that. We do now have a glass bow of flame, so we can engulf people in flames from a distance. It looks like I do need to get some more arrows, though. Unfortunately, because I got Umbra without getting the quest from Clavicus Vile, I think it was. Or Vile Clavicus, whatever the hell his name is. That Daedric prince. It was considered murder. So then the Dark Brotherhood paid me a visit and gave me the Blade of Woe and gave me a quest for joining the Dark Brotherhood, which I didn't really have the intention of becoming an assassin. It just kind of popped up. So we might not even complete that quest line. Just like we were given a quest earlier. Somebody wants me to like steal something or something. I didn't feel like that was our character, so there's another quest in the quest line that's not going to get complete. But the pro of this is we have a dagger. that has no weight because it's a quest item. No weight at all, but 5 damage. So it could be a last resort kind of weapon. Probably will never use it, honestly. If we go over here to the map, we are currently over here at Frostcrag Spire. It is a player home for like a mage-like character. And the neat kind of thing that this thing has, once I remodel it and spend money, is you can enchant things. I think it's like jewelry, though. And you can create spells. I just got to get these mage tallow candles. I'm thinking maybe that's where you get it from the person who gives you the remodels. However, we're going to put that on hold for a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to use it. Probably won't use this as a main player home, but it would be neat to be able to create enchantments and spells that could potentially help us in the future. So this tower is basically full of portals, whatnot. This is how you create Atronachs. We did kind of walk through in the last stream that we did for this game. So once again, if you'd like to check out the base version of the tower, it'll be in that previous stream. So the view is really nice, honestly. You can see the whole world from up here. That's Bruma, and that's the temple where Martin is at, the new emperor. You know, it's a shame that they don't have like a spyglass or telescope or something in this game. That would have been awesome. Speaking of that, tomorrow, if you're around, we are going to play some Ghost of Yotai. Yote, however you want to pronounce it. Just recently got that, as it just recently came out, and it's like a continuation. Good evening. To Ghost of Tsushima. Supposed to be like several hundred years afterwards. I've been playing it, and I've been enjoying it. It's pretty good. They have added several things to it that the original game did not. There's some similarities. Take a nap here. So in the original, you were a samurai who basically got your butt handed to you by the invading Mongols, and you had to basically learn to be a ninja. Because the Mongols studied your way of living, including your way of fighting. And so they know how to fight you, basically. But they were new to the thieves and the ninjas. And so fighting like a ninja was the best way to go, because they didn't know how to deal with you. And so the main character has to fight the fact that he's kind of going against his honor and his way that he was raised and trained. To free his people, basically. And so you learn a lot of ninja abilities as you go.
It's my pleasure. Please
Ghost
continue.
of Yotai, which is probably how I'll pronounce it most of the time.
Can I interest you in
You
some of
pretty
my
much
ways?
already start out as a ninja. You're already basically a ghost. And so some of the stuff that Jin had to learn later, you already know. Biggest thing is you had to get the grappling hook from the blacksmith when you played Jin, and as the main character in the new game, he already has it. Jin mainly used a katana to fight with, sword. Of course, he had throwables and whatnot too, and a bow, but his main melee weapon was a sword. And he had to change his techniques. You had to use your controls to change his techniques based on who you were fighting. So if you were fighting a sword and shield, you had one technique for that. If you were fighting a spear, you had a technique for that. A big guy, technique for that, blah, blah, blah. In this version, instead of having you have a katana and do certain techniques, you get different weapons. So if you're fighting somebody with a katana, the best weapon to use is a katana. If you're fighting somebody with a spear, the best weapon to use is two katanas dual wielding. And then you can also get a spear and this chain whip sickle kind of thing. I can't think of what it's called. So you eventually get those as well, and I'm sure they have their strengths and whatnot as well. Not saying you necessarily have to use it. In Ghost of Tsushima, you pretty much had to change your stance, depending on who you were fighting. In Ghost of Yotai, it makes the fight a little bit easier, but technically speaking, you could still defeat your enemy, even out of stance or whatever. Like, I was fighting somebody who had a katana, and I whipped his butt pretty easy with two katanas. So it's not 100%, which is logical. They also added other stuff to the game, like you can set up camp wherever you want. You can cook. You do your own blacksmithing, basically. So there's just more stuff that they've added in there, which is great. And the storyline's really good, too. I know they were at one point talking about doing a movie or something for Ghost of Tsushima. I hope that they still will, and I hope they will add Ghost of Yotai to it as well, because I feel that they would make great movies or shows. Hell, even an anime would be great, in my opinion. The music is great. The scenery is gorgeous. You almost wish you were standing there. But one of the things that you do have in Ghost of Yotai is a spyglass, so you can look at places in a distance and plan accordingly, which is pretty awesome. All right. I don't know why I did that.
Can I interest you in some of my wares?
You have an ebony mace and you have a Dremora sword? Is that one that I sold? Maybe it's one that I sold. Is this normal weapons on sale? Okay, let's go down here, see if we can find... We're going to finish upgrading our Bruma house before we move on to the other houses, because I think we're just about got everything for it. We got 4 more things to get. The wall hangings is not that big of a deal. Let's do... We got 6,000, so let's do sitting area. Do storage area. And we can go ahead and do all of them, I think. Yep.
An excellent deal.
All right. How many hammers do I got? 2. Well, why don't we buy some repair hammers while we're at it? Okay, and he doesn't have the arrows that I need.
Thank you for your business.
You're welcome. I now bought everything as for my house. Woohoo! One house complete, y'all. Ouch. If you have any issues with audio or video on whichever platform you are watching on, please let me know in the chat. That way I have an idea what's going on, because what you see and hear might be a little different than what I see.
I hope I can...
Let's see. What do you got?
Goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil.
Elven arrows we can get. My dog just came in. Give me just a second, guys. Sorry about that. Apparently she wanted to go out, so she'll probably want in here in a few minutes. All right. I think we're gonna buy some of these elven arrows here. How much is he gonna want for that? 300. Okay. Now we have no money.
Come again. Be seeing you.
If we need to repair anything. Not too much. All right. This way. My house is this way. There it is.
Anytime now.
All right. Let's see how nice this house looks on the inside. All right. Definitely more wall hangings. We have a place we can sit right inside the door. Wonder where that's supposed to be at. More storage. Take the lockpick. That's a well somewhere. Now see, this screams to me like something should be hidden there. You got a tapestry and you got 2 candles, of course, they're not lit, which, you know, we've talked about that before. Being able to light candles would be a good addition. Then, of course, this is our kitchen and dining room. It's really not much of a kitchen. They consider that the thing you cook on, I guess. It really just looks like something you would put firewood on. There's no pots or pans or anything. Just some wine and empty shelves. But, you know, it looks nice. It needs more than what they're giving me. And I think this is pretty much going to be the same. I still think they should let you light the candles. You know what? I doubt it, but this would be cool. Wouldn't that be cool if you could use your magic to light the candles? What a shame. This is pretty much the same. I mean, they don't even let you put stuff on the bookshelves. What's the point of having shelves with nothing on it? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, pull up the map here. Alright, so we got several quests we can do, and we can also do some exploring. When we brought Martin up here to the Priory, or up here to the temple, rather, from the Priory, they were kind of having us go this way on the Orange Road. But we chose the fast travel because, you know, I'm not a big protection kind of person. AI usually does dumb things. So we just fast traveled and got them there that way. But we haven't really done any exploring along the Orange Road. We did close, pretty sure we closed this Oblivion gate right there at the Orange Road. So we can explore more in this area and make our way down here to Crowhaven and Anvil before we move on to other parts of the map. Yes, we close this gate. All right. Horse. A monk's hood, but we're not really doing alchemy. We don't really have a whole lot of inventory space anyways. Alright, so we need to turn around and go west. Handy dandy compass. Magical compass on the screen. Alright, just to let you know, Twitch people, you're about to get an ad in 30 seconds. I'm sure as you're aware, one way to avoid such is to subscribe to the channel. And if you do have Prime, that is a free subscription a month. Whatever channel you want to subscribe to. I do like the music. The music's very pretty. Follow the road. Anything popping up? There's Toadstool Hollow. I don't think we can go that way anyways, because it's kind of like down a cliff. So we're going to try to turn this horse around. He likes to go the wrong way lots of times. The horse is confused. You see, I'll push left and he'll go right, and then I'll push right and he'll go left. I don't know why that is. They didn't do a good job at programming the horse. Somebody's whistling. Toadstool Hollow. Is that the gate? I think that's the gate that we came from. Yeah. So, we already been to Toadstool Hollow? We're gonna have to go up a mountain. 54. I wonder if that's like supposed to be feet or your yards, or what is it supposed to be exactly? Steps. 54 steps. Alright, and there's a sign, so this takes us to Bruma. Alright. Toadstool Hollow. The wolf. Well, there's another path. Alright, well, we need to get off the horse. You're trying hard to kill my horse. Stupid wolf. Is it possible for your horse to die in this? I know they can die in Skyrim, unless there's some horses that are essential. Lost its head and its sword. Ugh, I see coffins. Vampires. Gonna have to be careful. We have one potion of disease cure. I do have the spell, but I can't use it yet. My restoration needs to level up to 50, and we're at 31. We got a ways to go. Need to use restoration more. Oh, we have ghosts. Alright, so Umbra should work on it, and the glass bow should as well. About to say, you gonna die? I know most people are probably like, why are you sneaking and doing stealth attacks with heavy armor on? Because my thought process, beware of falling rocks, is, you know, most soldiers and knights back in the day also usually learned how to shoot a bow. And so they had a bow and they had a sword. And yeah, some wore light armor, some wore heavy armor. And 10 to 1, the archers specifically wore light armor. But, you know, the thought is you want to have a long-range weapon and a short-range weapon. You can pick off your enemies from a distance, and then the ones that make it to you, then you can forward. Kind of the thought. Something over there. The other way to go. A hole! Are we gonna drop in this hole? Can I summon a scamp to go down there? Go down the hole. He doesn't want to go down the hole. Now see, that's one thing I do like about Skyrim. Your summon goes wherever you're pointing. So wherever that dot is, that's where it goes. So if I pointed the dot down here in Skyrim, he would appear down there as long as it wasn't too far away from me. I wish they would have done the same thing here. I have to say, the enemies are kind of smart. They're standing where I can't shoot them. Alright, well. Ramino! It's a ghost. You are no match for Umbra. I'm sure the zombie doesn't have nothing. I gotta get used to the controls. Play different games and controls are all different. I have 175 lockpicks. If my memory's correct, in Ghost of Yotai, the crouching button is the right analog stick pushed in, whereas in Oblivion, it's the circle button on the PlayStation. Alright, so we got a path that way, we got a door this way. What happens if I just say auto attempt? I want to break the lock. But I do have a lot of lockpicks. I have a lot of lockpicks I can do that with if need be. Empty goblin. What is that? Ash? Are you guarding something inside that barrel that I should know about? Over. He's got drinks down in here. Some beer. He's guarding a beer. Maybe he just had way too much to drink. We're not going to pick that up because it's not enchanted. It says it's worth 200, but it's probably going to be less than 100 when you actually go to sell it. And it weighs way too much. Nothing really. I unlocked that door for nothing? For some beer? All right, we are going to equip our ring here. And we're going to make sure the right ring switched here. I want this one. Means we're going to undo this one. There we go. All right, we'll come back. That's a loading screen door. What is this way? Another door! They probably lead in a circle. Hollow tunnels. And the double back, huh? Alright, well, let's try this. Let's see what's this way. Rat. Roaches. Steel helmet. We don't need that. Let's. Toadstool grog. Do want keys. Get our arrow. Where's my arrow? Got spiderweb up close. I think my soul gems are limited here. Elven short sword. Ghost was using an elven short sword? I'll be right back. Gotta let the dog in. All right. Where's my stones? My soul stone. Alright, so I have greater. They're not filled. They are filled. Okay. Alright, we're fully charged now. I've yet to find what that key opened. Have zombie over there. Rat. You have another zombie. I thought I heard it moaning. No, I accidentally changed the perspective. It controls the camera, and sometimes when I'm trying to move the camera, I'll accidentally push the button in. Rat. I got Bromebake. I got a disease, but it's not. At least it's not vampirism. There's tons of coffins here. I haven't seen any vampires yet. Else here, we already that the door. Landslide or rockfall here. All that's here. The ghost. I'm over encumbered. Because I'm diseased, I guess. I don't really want to use that potion because I only got one. They'll go down eventually. There we go. Elven Greaves. Do I have the Greaves? Why not have the Greaves? Stupid rat. Maggots. Crap. I've captured a soul. Ghost that. Nothing in the box. Ooh, ebony arrows. Which way do we want to go? Getting some stuttering. Testing that Wi-Fi. We got another cure disease. Well, we did a full circle, but you know, I still have not found anything to use that key on. Right there, Toadstool Grog Key. There was nothing in here for us to use it on. How strange is that? Let's have a look at see what Google says about it. Called the Toadstool Grog Key. It says Toadstool Grog Key can be used to unlock a door in Toadstool Hollow west of Skingrad. But we're in Toadstool Hollow. And it's not west of Skingrad. And my browser not responding. Probably mad that I'm streaming on 3 platforms. The CPU is at 32%, GPU's at 40%, and memory's at 60%. For whatever reason, Google is deciding not to. Gonna have to end the task. Alright, I believe we're still live. Gonna bring back up here. Bear with me. 4 pages. Alright, we're still live on Kick by the looks of it with 2 viewers. Welcome, welcome. Here, drum roll. Still live on YouTube with, it looks like 5 viewers. At least that's the last number it gave me. And 3 viewers on Twitch. Awesome. I think we're still going good. Once again, if you notice any issues, please let me know in the chat. How many Toadstool Hollows are there? So this is the Toadstool Hollow we went into by the Oblivion Gate. That's technically northeast of Skingrad. Live here, not even a hiccup on our side. Awesome. Skingrad's all the way down here, and they said west of Skingrad. Is there another Toadstool Hollow cave that's west of Skingrad? I don't know. Well, I mean, I clearly been everywhere. Did not see any key or any door that needs a key, so maybe we'll run into another Toadstool Hollow. Oh, nope, that's dead end. This is where we had to choose one way or the other. It appears that I have gotten lost. Did not find a path. Uh-oh, we're lost. We should be able to go down here. Oh, that's right. We fell down a hole. There has to be somewhere else we can go. We're not going to get back up that hole. Are you listening to AI delusions again? Actually, I went on the wiki. I think the wiki is probably incorrect. Alright, so we dropped down, which means there has to be another way out of this cave. And maybe we just missed it. I don't think they would trap us down here forever. Alright, so we're going to first go back to the area where we got the key. And maybe it's somewhere in this area. This is where we got the key. Oh. We go that way? We might not have went that way. Maybe that's what... Nope. We killed them. No other way to go. We have to go this way. There's another hole there, but it's kind of blocked by rocks. I can't move these rocks. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe the rocks are supposed to fall down the hole. No. Unless this dropped me back to before I fell down the other hole. That might be the case. Oh. Yep. There's the hole. So we went around and dropped down another hole, and now we can leave. Still haven't found a place to use that key yet. We'll have to keep our eye open. We're free! It sort of looks like there was a path here, but not. Anything on the compass? Shall we climb up the mountain? And it's a wolf. Not seeing anything on our compass. Alright, there's the Oblivion gate. There's the road that we were going on beforehand. Alright, so now we're kind of back where we started. There's a Legion. A Legionnaire there. Stairs, where does that go? I don't see anything on the compass. Little shrine. Akatosh. Honor the Nine and do your duty. Pray at my chapel altars to receive my blessing. Thank you, Akatosh. We just follow the Legion. The Legionnaire. Still nothing on the compass. There's really not that much on the Orange Road. What's that over there? I think we have a monster. Is that a Minotaur? Bruma Caverns. Been there? We've been to Bruma Caverns. Maybe not. Huh? Minotaur. Hey, Minotaur. Come and get me. Hey. You need to come do your job. Get him!
What's the matter? Getting tired? Ah! This is the part where you fall down and bleed to death. Ah! 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 Ah!
Not telling me how much you got him. Thank you. Alright, so there was a cavern for Bruma this direction. There it is. Got stuck. Seeing anything else? Check out the Bruma Caverns. I don't know what that sound was about, but okay. Assuming it's up there, top. There's Bruma. Wow, how did I miss the Bruma Caverns? Who are you? Here you go. There was somebody with a torch. They just disappeared. I think that's another gate we closed. Somebody is shooting at me. It's a bear. Look how many arrows he killed. He killed the bear. Killed the Legion. Ten arrows. That bear has 10 arrows in him, and he kept going. That poor Legionnaire only got paid 3 gold coins. Well, he don't need it no more. Well, we already have ourselves some Legion armor. That's not even a full set. Poor guy. Alright, let's go back to the caverns here. Wonder what's inside there. Is it going to lead us into Bruma? We're trespassing, it said. What in the world is that? Somebody's house? Hopefully, Google won't crash or whatever again. We want to know about Bruma Cave. Cavern. According to this one, according to fandom, Bruma Caverns is a location west of Bruma. The caverns are connected to Gerald's house in Bruma. There are a few mud crabs or rats, and maybe that's why it's saying trespassing connected to the house. Cavern connected to the house. There's a few mud crabs, rats, but very little else. Quest. Spies, Mystic Dawn agents have discovered the location of Martin and are spying on activities. So there is a quest tied to it. Alright, so we are not supposed to be there yet, basically. So we are not going to go in there. There's a quest for it later down the road here, so which we have to do some sneaking. All right, let's see if we can get back down here where we were without breaking our necks. All right. Back on the road again. Fence broke. Somebody went over the ledge. See anything popping up on the compass? Bridge? Like a little bit of snow. Ah, look at that. Probably be nicer if it was daytime. Outlaw Andre's Cave. Underpaul Cave. This one's like down there. I don't think we could get to the get to that from here safely. So let's go to this one. Steep hill here. Is that the cave? Safest way down a hill, right? Side to side, right? Here, kitty kitty. Outline. That was carrying some gold. Alright, so we could probably go back this way to get back on the road. There's like a graveyard here, so we might have some undead inside. Do a save. Hey, Johnson, over on Kick. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming by. What we find in here? More coffins. An Orcus shield. Alright, we gotta... We're spazzing here. Give me a second. Gonna re-put on our ring to activate it here. We have a little bit extra light. I don't know where it went, but it's there somewhere. That is a big door. I think we've stumbled onto something. A skeleton up there? Hopefully not a friendly. I don't think it's a friendly in this cave. Unless enemy to worry about later. Skeleton. Like an elven battle axe. Elven battle axe. We'll skip. Go that way. A nether lich. Staff for fireballs. Enemy was down that way. Okay, so we came from here. Let's go this way. Gotcha. Right. He went blind. Come to my arrow. Lots of bugs. Alright, we're going up. And south wing. All right, well, let's go back because that's a loading screen there, and we want to try to explore as much as we can before we do that. Back to where we started. All right, so we came from there. Down here. A rat and a wraith. Are you scared of the wraith? Really? Hey! Trying to shut the door. Make the skeleton come to me. Think he'll do it? How smart is he? Of course, there was also a rock drop there. Use your fireball. There you go. And it's stuck on the rocks. He is summoned too because his body's gone. Dwarven bows. That's an elven bow. And another door leading to another loading screen. I think we got one more area to go, and then we'll start going indoors here. And is that the best you can do? Burn. He killed himself because I have a ring that reflects damage. Alright, so we have a doorway that way. Just fire. He's got a spoon. That for scooping out the brains. North wing. All right, well, Let's go to the North Wing. You know what? Real quick, why don't we do what needs to be repaired? Which way do you want to go? I hate that it bounces around like that. Alright, so we came from this way. Staff of Silence. That goes up. And up and up and up. Place is pretty big. Alright, that's a dead end. Oh, shit. I fell in a hole. It was a trap. Always look down. Need iron arrows. Ooh, 378 gold. Did that. I didn't see any other way we could go from here. Alright, so this is where we shot the one skeleton, and that's where we started. Doesn't really look like there's much of anything up here. Even see any other tunnels or holes or nothing, so means we get to go back down here. Alright, well, we do have some other tunnels we need to check out. Alright, we're gonna go back the way we were, because there was something we were checking out before we fell down the hole. We went that way. We didn't go this way all the way. Let's see what's this. Okay, so it apparently circles around. Alright, we need to keep an eye out for holes. Like that one there. Treasure there. Alright, we ready? That's it? That's all that was there? No secret lever to pull or nothing? A weak healing potion? What a load of crap. Well, let's try another door. Guess we'll go to the south wing. Which is over here. My arrow back. I didn't want the bow. He doesn't have... My arrow must have bounced off. So that way... That is the way we gotta go. Door. Door it is. Get him before he summons something. Look at all the traps. I don't want to waste my arrows. Maybe we could do it with magic, or no. I almost forgot about bound bow again. I cannot push the buttons to the fire spell. That with an arrow. Alright. Still hurts me even with the shield up. You ready? Let him do it. Stuck on a bow. Y'all open doors? Yep. Over encumbered. Oh, let's see. That's only worth 500. That. Arrows. Helps a little bit. Anarchy. How can you swing that in this narrow corridor? I think that door probably takes me back to the beginning. Take the glass arrows, we'll take the ring. That can... There's nothing here. Huh. Nothing there. Big open room. I think I'm on the other side. An ebony claymore. Look at that. Definitely carrying too much now. Oh, 1 point over. So you know what we do? We go ease my burden. See the feathers? Isn't that neat? Nothing on this side. I have to admit, I'm kind of curious. All right, so let's look at this. All right, so the Blade of Woe is an ebony dagger. It distinctly looks like that. The ebony claymore pretty much looks the same, but Umbra looks completely different. So I'm wondering if Umbra is going to look different than the ebony longsword, or does the ebony longsword look exactly the same as Umbra? I'm thinking that hopefully that Umbra is a special sword, and nothing else looks like it, and that the ebony longsword will look more like that, but smaller, is what I'm thinking. That being said, it's probably still going to be weaker than Umbra, but for our collection and for display purposes, right? All right, let's check out this other door. All right, so there was a door this way too. The reflecting chamber. What are we going to reflect on, guys? And might as well save while we're at it. Burn. Oh, go that way too. All right, let's go back, check the other way. What's the wraith guarding? A little bit of gold. Zombie. door. Ooh, let's go the other way first. See if they can catch up to me. Dwarven Claymore. Hmm. All right, that's the way I came. Well, that's kind of creepy looking. Got him. Alright, so what is the deal with this? Got like this little ramp here. Get up here. Anything here? No. There's a fish bouncing around. Lots of water. Elven short sword. Water. It's all water. A little platform here. Go down into the water. Got one here as well. Okay. Necklace of the Sea. Water breathing. Alright, I do have my light on. Don't have to worry about drowning. No door there. Fish! So far, I'm not seeing a whole lot of anything. Might need to go that way. Look. That appears to be it. No secret tunnel. No other way out of here. It's just that treasure box. That's it. Wasn't even that great of a treasure box. All right, that's it. I went the wrong way. I'm like, wait a minute. Not the main entrance. All right, we made it out. Okay, we're gonna go to our castle. That's our other player home. Still got a lot of customizing on that one to do. All right, we're gonna put the claymore in there. We're gonna sell the mace, so we're gonna hold on to that. Probably sell those arrows too. I think I had the elven stuff at other house, so we're probably gonna hold on to that. Well, Do have the Elven Longsword here, though. Workish. All right, guys, that's all the time I got for today, but thank y'all for coming and watching. And if you are new to the channels, make sure you hit those follow buttons. Don't forget to turn your notifications on. I'll be live again tomorrow, same time, 12 p.m. That's Eastern time. And tomorrow we're going to be playing some Ghost of Yotai, or Yote, however you pronounce it. I think I have heard both pronunciations in the game. I've heard some people in the game say Yotai, some have said Yote. So I guess potato, right? But anyways, we're gonna do a new playthrough. I've been playing it on my own personal time. So when we start the stream, we're gonna do episode 1, new playthrough. For those of you who might not have yet seen. All right, y'all have a great day, and we're gonna see y'all tomorrow.